Hello, dear students. So, welcome to another episode of PT and IELTS Mastery Hub. So, today we are going to focus on PTE and one question type, which is read aloud. One of the question types that actually students are struggling with. So, I thought of giving you some tips and techniques for doing your PTE, the read aloud question very well. So the first thing I have to tell you is in the speaking read aloud, it comes first in the speaking section. That's the first question that you're going to get. And you have 30 to 40 seconds to prepare before the recording. So they give you like 30 to 40 seconds to prepare before the recording. And then once the beep sound is played, what you have to do is you can start reading the passage loud and clear. So you have to start reading it loud and clear. That is important. And remember, you don't start speaking before the beep sound. There's a beep sound that comes. So if you start speaking before the beep sound, what happens is whatever you say will not be recorded, right? So before the progress bar of the recording ends, finish reading the passage. That is also important. If not, the microphone will stop recording from that point onwards. Other thing is the computer, because it is a totally computer delivered test, it is scored by the AI. So computer detects silence more than 3 seconds. Recorder will stop recording your voice and you will lose marks for the rest of the paragraph if that is the case. So these things are some general things that I want to talk about read aloud. So read aloud is basically they give you a paragraph on the screen, they show it to you, and then they give you a preparation time. And after that, you have to read it in a way that the computer understands your voice 100%. Okay, so let's have a look at this particular question type in more detail. So read aloud. I hope you all can now see the screen. So read aloud is what we are focusing now. This actually comes under the highest marked marking category. Okay, so you will score a lot of marks if your read aloud section is done really well, right? So that you have to understand. Um, and then let's look at some read aloud techniques and success tips. Okay, so the thing is, we have to first understand the marking scheme of this. So the core marks go to your content, oral fluency, and pronunciation. So those are the three things that they will mark you on. What are those? Content, eloquence, and eloquence in the sense your oral fluency and pronunciation, right? You will need to speak aloud and say all the words as per the correct order. Don't say words from here and there, right? You have to say it in the order of the given paragraph. Tips to maximize your chances of receiving really good points, because I have produced band 90 out of 90 scorers. So that means they have got really good marks top marks at the read aloud section as well. So make sure you do not replace any words. We cannot invent new words and put in there. Or do not leave any words out, or do not add in. If you make a mistake, try to correct it. It will be known as new words. Don't try to correct it. If you try to correct it, it will be known as new words or added words. So they will not give you marks. You must speak to the microphone right away, immediately, and read with a smooth, easy, natural speed. Smooth, easy, natural. Those are the three things that you have to remember. Try not to speak too fast or too slow, because it will get you a low mark. Use English rhythm with chunking and sentence stress correctly. Let's look at what chunking is later on. So you have to stress on the words. You have to put some emphasis on the words that carry meaning. Try not to hesitate or repeat words. If you try to repeat words, imagine that when you're naturally speaking, you made an error. You feel that, oh, I made an error. Now I need to say it again. Don't go to repeat the words, because if you go to repeat the words, they will not give you good marks, right? Because they will take it as a new word. That's a real thing, right? They will take it as a new word and will not give you a good mark for oral fluency there. So for this question type, you need to read a written text aloud. They display a written text aloud. A text appears on your screen. So then you have to read the text aloud. That's what they say. So here the expertise or the skills assessed are reading and speaking. The prompt length will be 60 words. right? Up to 60 words. Time to answer varies by item depending on the length of the text, right? And then you have 30 to 40 seconds to prepare. This preparation time is highly important. What do you have to do at the preparation time? You hear a short tone. After the tone, start speaking straight away. Do not start speaking before the microphone opens because your voice will not be on record if so. You should speak clearly. All right. So your pronunciation should be really clear. There is no need to rush. If you rush, you will not get marks. So finish speaking before the progress line reaches the end. The word recording changes to completed. You are only able to record your response once. Okay. The important thing is if you remain silent for more than 3 seconds, the recording will stop automatically. That's something that you need to know, right? The recording will stop automatically if you keep silent for more than 3 seconds. Please note that as well. Use punctuation to help you decide where to pause when you read. That is very important. Punctuation. What do you mean by punctuation? Commas, full stops, those kind of things. You have 30 to 40 seconds to look at the text before the microphone opens. That's a good thing. So what do you have to do there? So use this time to chunk the text up into meaningful chunks. What do you mean by chunking? Divide the text into meaningful parts using the punctuation as a guide. This will show you the places where you can make a tiny pause and alter your pitch. Pitch means the stress going up when you begin reading a chunk and decreasing a little when you end the chunk. Use appropriate pausing. Helps you to read more confidently. So the main thing is that checking whether you can read something more confidently, as if someone is telling news on a TV screen, and give the full meaning of the text. This will improve your score massively. Look at where the pauses are shown. Those are very important. And okay, so let's move on to the next one. What do you mean by reading as chunks? I'm going to repeat that. Reading as chunks means put the paragraph to meaningful parts to improve your oral fluency. Taking the necessary pauses will give proper meaning to the full paragraph. For example, if there's a full stop, you can go for a kind of a good, like, pause. But if you have a little comma, you can have a little pause, right? Your score on Read Aloud is based on 3 factors. You have to be aware of the marking scheme if you are preparing, if you are a student who is preparing for the PT exam. So you'll be marked according to 3 points. The first one is the content. Content means these are the things you have to know. Does your response include all the words on the reading text and only these words? That's important, not not newly added ones. Content is scored by counting the number of correct words on your response. Replacements, omissions, addings of words will negatively affect your score. That's the main thing you have to know about content part. Then the second marking benchmark is oral fluency. Does your response show a smooth, effortless, and natural rate of speech? Is your rhythm, phrasing, and stress smooth? The best responses are spoken at a very constant and natural rate of speed with appropriate phrasing. Hesitations, repetitions, false starts will negatively affect your score. So those things are to be avoided. And then the third one would be pronunciation. Does your response exhibit or show your ability to produce speech sounds in a similar way to most regular speakers of the language, of the English language, native speakers? Pronunciation is scored by determining if your speech is easily understandable to most regular speakers of the language. The best responses contain vowels and consonants pronounced in a native-like way and stress words and phrases correctly. Responses should also be understandable to a regular speaker of the language. So this is what is expected by you in order to score 15 out of 15 or 90 out of 90 for the read aloud part. Focus on punctuation such as commas and full stops and semicolons. Semicolons is a little bit of a higher pause than the colon, than the comma. Full stop is a really good pause where you can actually breathe. Emphasize the words that help in conveying meaning by a slightly louder voice. So that is called stressing. And emphasize on key syllables. Be confident, loud and clear enough for a computer to recognize your voice, because be mindful, you're being judged by a computer, right? So the AI should be able to understand what you're saying, right? So try, and it is, the software is developed by a native speaker, of course. So your voice should be catering to that. Try to read the newspaper daily in front of the mirror as if you're trying to convey the message to a larger crowd. That is very important. You can use your hand gestures as well when you read to a larger crowd. So imagine you're talking to like hundreds of thousands of people in front of you when you read the passage. That will give you that, that vibrancy, that energy to read it loud, although you have the headset on with you. Read at a normal pace with full confidence. So these are the things I need to tell you. And then at the preparation time of 30 to 40 seconds, what should we do? This is the most important thing. You have to prepare yourself by mocking the answer. Okay? Try to read aloud the paragraph as if you're given the real answer. Try to practice the words that seem new or hard. Now, there are new or hard words. So try to practice them before that, in the given 30 to 40 seconds, especially the words that are like hard to pronounce, new words for you. This will prepare your brain to pronounce in the hard words before the reader starts. So these are some tips that I wanted to tell you about the read aloud section. At our classes, we'll be like practicing hundreds of them until you get the score that you want actually. Right. So I'm the tutor and the founder of this PG and IELTS Success Hub. I have like teaching experience of 22 years, and I'm a 90 out of 90 producer at PGE and even IELTS. So we conduct Zoom sessions only. So I have produced like 15,000 plus successful students all over the world, like for the past 15 to 16 years, especially in this particular arena, PT and IELTS. And I'm like conducting both group and one-to-one sessions. I will provide you with easy formats, not only for read aloud, but also for other things, other question types, other 19 question types. And we'll be giving you free practice materials if you join our Zoom classes. So you can also join our Zoom classes by WhatsApping your name to this number 07679789883. And for broad students, you can put +94 and then join our classes. Then you can go for 9 of 90. I hope this session was important and interesting for you if you're preparing yourself by yourself even. You can give it a try. But I have met students who have actually come to me after like trying 5 to 6 times, but still could not get the score that they want because they practice from one software only. You have to practice from many softwares. If you do read aloud, don't practice from one software only. Do go for a few softwares, because at the exam you will not get any of these softwares. You will be judged by the Pearson software. That's the thing, right? So I hope these tips were helpful to you. I wish you all the very best for your exams, and I hope to see you, most of you, in my classes. Right. Have a good day.